Hey, what is going on, guys? SmartDoofus here, back at it again with another video, and today we're looking at a $750 gaming PC build. Um, this is pretty similar to the last build. You just get a little bit more money to throw around. Um, this is where you're starting to get into the sweet spot of like gaming computers and where where your money is best placed. And where it's harder and harder to decide what exactly you should buy, especially with GPUs. For the processor, we're going Ryzen 5 2600. It is what we used in the $500 bill, but we're keeping it in this build because it's just a great processor. It will stay a great processor even in the really high end. Of course, you're not going to keep it because you got more money to throw around and like video editing and stuff. But this is a great processor. You can play any game on it. Very good processor. We're going with the same B450M motherboard, good for the VRMs, good for the overclocking if you need to. Went with hot, still 8 gigs, which you'd probably want 16 around here, but we got an SSD, so like a high quality SSD. So we stuck with 8 gigs, but we did bump up the speed a little bit to 2666 instead of 2400 or 2133. We did get a Kingston A400 240 gig SSD. This is a little bit bigger than was necessary. I think that if you went with a 120 gigabyte off-brand SSD, you could probably fit in 16 gigs of slower RAM. So if you really need RAM for things like multitasking and video editing and stuff, then I would recommend either getting a smaller SSD or not getting an SSD and getting a 1 TB hard drive or something like that, so that you can afford the 16 gigs of RAM. We went with a 2 TB hard drive from Seagate. They're just good drives. If you've got a big Steam library, it'll take most of it, all of it, whatever. We went with the 5700 XT, which is better than the 580 by a good margin. This was the hardest thing to decide in this case, in this build. It was the graphics card because there's so many cards in this area. You've got like the 1070 Ti, RTX 2060, RTX 2060 Super, RTX 2070, 5700 XT, RX 580. There's so many cards in this price range, but I did end up settling with this one. Again, a fairly cheap case, and a 550 watt 80 plus bronze certified power supply. I didn't want to run the 5700 XT on the 400 watt EVGA power supply, so we still got a fairly cheap power supply, but it's 550 watts now. And that puts us at 766, so $11 over. Excuse me, but you could probably cut off some price in both the SSD, the hard drive, and the case if you needed to. Anyways, thank you, like, subscribe, and bye bye.